There it is. All right. So I want to break this down with you guys, the Mandalorian trailer. So we're just going to start it up and kind of go through it together. I watched this a couple times, and I want to point out a few things as I start. So this intro scene, you see a bunch of Mandalorians walking in. I want to point something out.
Our people are scattered like stars.
Right here. You would think this is Mando and his crew. But what's interesting here is you see it looks like Vizsla. So it looks like there's some kind of showdown about to go down. Because you see, man, it looks like this is Vizsla right here. That looks like Mando maybe right there. But there looks like there's going to be some kind of showdown with these guys.
What are we?
Because like this part right here looks like they're seeing other Mandalorians come up and they're kind of looking at each other like,
what do we stand for?
Here we go. What's going down? You know, like people siding with Mando with the Darksaber.
Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way, you'll never.
So this is the city originally that the whole Mandalorian started in, right? I think it's the original city.
Be lost.
It's kind of become a place of trade, right? So you see Grief again. You see him flying into Mandalore right here. Interesting that the armorer is making something again, right? You see Mando talking to the armorer or somebody in a cave, which might be Tatooine or wherever we see the opening scene of this.
So that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
Cut back to Mandalore and its destruction.
May the Force be with you!
This is the way.
That looks like Tatooine, and they're celebrating something. So maybe this is like taking place right after Boba Fett and like everything that happened in the book of Boba Fett.
There's something dangerous.
Coruscant, that's 100% Coruscant
out there.
And you see the cloner kind of flying around. I think they're going to maybe start bringing in more like little tidbits of Snoke and the Emperor.
By the time it becomes big enough for you to act.
That's basically the caves of Mandalore that we're seeing, I think, right here.
It'll be too late.
And he's seeing some of the Mandalorians that passed either from the Purge or this things in the cave. Flashback. This is what's going to be really interesting. I think you're going to see clones and some other people come through here, but you're going to see someone save Grogu. I have a feeling a lot of people were thinking it's some kind of Jedi, right? I think it might be a clone. I think it might be a clone that's going to save Grogu. Like maybe one of the 501st, because we know the 501st was with Anakin. So I think it might be a clone that maybe overrides his inhibitor chip, or I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is it had to be like a clone. I don't think Anakin would have done it. I don't think he would have. This is a cool shot because you have a Mandalorian fighter fighting other Empire aged interceptors. So you're having, this might be where they bring in Finn Raw. For some of you guys that don't know who he is, he was in Star Wars Rebels, one of the protectors of Concord Dawn, which the old lore was that the protectors of Concord Dawn were the true Mandalorians. They were the real Mandalorians, right? That believed like the old Mandalorian code, but you know, they would take off their helmet and things like that. So I think that's kind of what we might see is maybe Finn Raw or someone we might know other than just Bo-Katan from the Mandalorians. Really cool shot. Now this is going to be interesting because Mando is talking to a bunch of droids, and this is where we see wasn't Boba Frick, right, from the sequels. But look at all these droids in this background, and something that's really cool. Let me take off my cam so you can see it. So one of the things that you notice in this right here, battle droids, clone era battle droids right here. That's really cool, man, that you have clone era battle droids right here. It looks like they're getting repaired and things like that. This is Babu Frick, I think. This is also interesting because this launch looks like It looks like this is the city that Mando went to talk to Grief again. And it looks like they're either hunting someone, maybe Mando. Maybe this is where Vizsla and Mando start kind of clashing because he wants the Darksaber, because he probably believes it's a rite of passage for his family because it was, Tar Vizsla originally that created it. So I don't know. There might be some infighting here between the Mandalorians, because this is what's interesting. Look right here. Vizsla is leading them, fighting somebody, and there's another Mandalorian right here that's dead on the ground. So who are they fighting? It's either got to be Mando and some other Mandalorians, maybe the Empire. I'm not really sure. I mean, there's Babu Frick. This is awesome.
This is the way.
Because you see Grogu with the Force push, man. He's really starting to come along in the powers of the Force. Anyways, that's kind of my breakdown of the trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3. That was my breakdown.
You must unlearn what you have learned.